Hi guys, welcome back. So now we are going to discuss about object pool design pattern. So in the last videos we discussed about singleton, prototype, factory, builder, abstract factory, all the creational design pattern we discussed. This is the last design pattern which is there in the creational. Okay, so that is called object pool design pattern. Okay, what is basically object pool design pattern? So before jumping into the coding, okay, let me tell you some example. For example, you are going into library, right? So you will go to library and you are going to look for some specific book, maybe just chemistry book or something else. Okay, you are just looking for some chemistry book. Okay, you are searching in the lab, so you are asking your lab attendant, so I want this chemistry book. What basically he will do, he will check that the book is not available. He will say that the book is not available. If the book is available, he will give the book, right? So if book is not available, what he will tell, so maybe the book will return this time. Once the book return, you can come and collect the book. That is what basically they will do, right? So this is what will happen in the library system, right? So the same thing. Okay, so libraries is holding couple of books, maybe lot of books. Okay, so it is like a book pool. Okay, so it is similar like a book pool. So here we are going to discuss about object pool. What is the difference between the both? Book pool will contains the books, that is library. Object pool will contains the object, that's all, nothing else. Okay, so other than that, whatever we discussed here, what we are going to do, we are going to check for a specific object. If the object is available, pool will give you the object. If object is not available, pool will create the object. Okay, if object is busy, pool will it will make us to wait. That is what it will basically, it will do it. Okay, and additional work, for example, if you want to delete the book, delete the object for some after some time. Okay, so or you want to keep 3 objects for a specific object, so those all the types you can do it and additionally. Okay, so basically you understood, right? So object pool is nothing but it will hold the objects. Okay, if the object is not present, for example, whenever you are going and accessing object, it will have the object, it will give the old object. If the object is not having, it will create the object. Okay, and if object is busy, it will ask us to wait. Or if you want to multiple object you want to create it for the same thing, you can create it out. Okay, so that is what basically object pool will do. Why we need it basically? Why we need this object pool? Okay, again, so for example, whenever you are creating some object, right, maybe you are getting the data from the database. So what basically it will do some performance issue, or it is the heavy load, right? So every time whenever you are creating object, if you are running the select query, if you are fetching the value, it is taking some time, right? Connecting with the database and giving the queries, everything, it will take time. Otherwise, maybe some other example, when you are creating object, you may call some other service, maybe some web service, REST web service or SOAP web service. You need to call the web service, you need to gather the information, with the help of those information you need to create the object. So it is like a heavy load, right? So every time whenever you want object, if you are calling that SOAP web service, you are getting the response. If you are loading the objects, it is very heavy, right? To avoid this type of stuffs, object pools came into picture. Okay, so with the help of object pool design pattern, we can solve this all the stuffs. Okay, how we can do, let's see the example. Okay, so basically if you see that, you can see 3 different classes, right? So object pool main, this is like a user class. Okay, so object pool, this is the object pool class, okay, which will hold your couple of objects. Maybe one is database connectivity object, another one is REST service object, whatever it may be. So whatever you want, that may be hold inside this object pool. How the logic is done, let's see that in few seconds. Okay, then JDBC connection pool. So here I'm creating object for the JDBC connection. Okay, I don't want to call database every time, so I'm just going with that connection, how to connection created, how connection has to remove, those all logics will be there in the related to JDBC stuff. It will be there in this class. Okay, so let's jump into this object pool class. What is basically it will do, what is there inside that, let's see that. Okay, what basically, see, if you see that object pool class is nothing but it's a like normal abstract class. Okay, So that class should support for any types of object. That is what we are mentioning is a T. Okay, any type of object. You can go for your own JDBC connection pool object. Tomorrow, if you want another REST web service connection, REST web service object, or day after tomorrow you want another like what is it called SOAP web service creating object. You can create it. Your how many objects you want, you can do it out. How many classes you want, you can create it out. Okay, so that all classes will basically will use this. Okay, so this is the base class of our object pool. Okay, this is the core class. What is that inside that? Let's see that. Okay, so whenever you are calling, okay, first you see here, say here is one hash table. I'm going to give it out. What basically this hash table will do it out. So hash table is holding the key as a object and value as a long. Okay, long why I am giving is just to keeping the some timing. Okay, maybe if you don't want this, you can go for a set also. Okay, so to keep the values, to keep the object. Okay, to maintain the timing, I'm just keeping as a hash table. Okay, so I'm creating two hash table. One is in use, one is not in use. What basically in use? Whenever you are creating some object, right? So and whenever you are trying to use that object in use status. Once you use the object, after that if you want to hold the object, okay, you can push that object into not in use status, so that when other people are trying to access this object, they can able to access it. If it is in use status, they cannot able to access it. Okay, that is what the reason we are creating the hash table. Maybe you can go for a set or anything, but two things we need it. One is for the using, whenever I'm using, I need to keep the object here. Once I complete my usage, I can push that object into not in use, so that if somebody is coming and trying to access that object, if it is in not in use, I can give the objects to them. Okay, that is what the basically the purpose of creating two hash table here. Okay, so then I'm giving the constructor. Okay, so this constructor, whenever I'm just initializing this constructor, okay, so I am initializing the hash table here. Okay, and also I'm trying to mention the dead time of 50 seconds. What is this dead time? For example, I'm creating the connection, right? So I need to close the connection after some time, right? So might be in your use case, just assume that your database will get upgraded every 1 hour. Okay, your database will get upgraded every 1 hour. So if you are calling now and if you are getting the objects, if you are holding that, okay, you are using that object, that is fine. But after 5 hours, again if you are holding the object and if you are using that, definitely that is not a latest values, right? The latest value will get upgraded every 1 hour. So what basically you need to do? You need to clear the every 1 hour, right? So and you need to create the object every time fetching the from the database. That is a good practice, right? So that you will get the updated values, right? So what basically this dead time will take care of this. After every 1 hour, for in this example, I'm just keeping as a 50 second. After every 1 hour, I can delete this. Okay, I mean whatever objects was there, I can delete it. That is the reason we are just keeping the dead time. Okay, then I'm keeping some couple of methods which is not implemented. That is an abstract method. The purpose of this, whenever if today I'm going for a JDBC connection, I can implement there. Tomorrow I'm going for a REST connection, I can implement there. So we should implement these methods in the specific implementation classes. Okay, this is fine. Then takeout, what basically this takeout is doing? If I want to create the object specifically, okay, I will call this takeout. So that is then it will create the object and it will give me that. So it should be synchronized so that only one thread will get access. Okay, then inside that, what basically we are doing is that we are just checking that if for example I am trying to get the object of JDBC or okay, so JDBC, so it will check the JDBC object is already there in the not in use state or not. If it is there already in not use state, why I need to create it? I should return that object, right? So that is what the reason we are just checking that. If it is not there, okay, so I mean if it is there, we'll just go and return that object. Okay, so you can see inside there some validation will be there. If not there, we'll return the error. Okay, so if it is a valid one, we'll remove from the not in use, then we'll move into use. So that is what basically we'll do. So here what we are checking that if it is not in use, okay, maybe the value is in not in use, okay, it is not in use, okay, fine. I'm going to return the object from here itself. Okay, So what basically I'm doing, I'm iterating the value. I'm just checking the time if the object is dead or not. If not dead, okay, if it is dead, I will remove the object and I will return the dead. Actually, if it is not dead, I will create sorry, if it is not dead, I will just return that object. If it is dead, I will create the object. Okay, then the else part, it is to what is it, to remove the value from the not in use. Okay, if none of this, if it is not in use, what basically I need to do, I need to create a new object. Okay, hope you understood, right? So basically, if not in use, then we'll give the existing one. If it is in use, sorry, I'm just confusing, don't make it confused. Okay, whenever we are calling this take out, okay, first thing is that we need to check the object is created and it is there in the not in use status state or not. If it is in not in use state, I'll just return the object based on some logic. Okay, so that you can see here. What is that logic? Basically, I am just checking if that object is dead or not. First step. If it is dead, okay, I will remove from the, what is that, not in use state also. That object is dead, the object time is expired. Then why I need to keep that is not in use? I need to call newly, I need to fetch newly, right? That is the reason. Okay, then if it is not dead, then I'll return this object. Okay, I will just validate it. Okay, I just validate it. Okay, object is valid. Then I can go for a not in use state. I will remove from the not in use. I'm just keeping in the in use. I'm just using this object, right? And simply I will return the object so that people can use it out. Okay, so the take in means, okay, I use this object, fine. Okay, so remove from me and put it in not in use. That is the reason we are keeping a take in method. Okay, so this is what the basically object pool. Okay, then what, sorry, this is what object pool, right? So again, let me open JDBC connection. So as I told, I'm going to create a JDBC connection. So I'm just giving the connection class. Okay, so this is what I'm going to implement. I'm just extending the, as this is the abstract class, object pool is the abstract class, right? So I'm just extending that and I need to give the implementation for these three methods, right? Okay, so one is create method. Create method will create the JDBC connection using the driver manager. Okay, fine. The dead will just close the connection. Okay, then validate, the connection is valid, is already there, or it is valid or not, it is closed or not. So that check I'm just making here. Okay, okay, fine. So this is what basically we need to do it out. Okay, so now object pool concept is ready. How can I use this? Let's see. I will show you the real time. So this is my class. Okay, what basically I am going to do, I'm going to pass the values of JDBC connection. Okay, make sure that you already install the JDBC and the valid is nothing but this is a default MySQL database. So I'm just using that. Okay, maybe if you want to use some other your own database, you can give that. Okay, so as it is for a demo purpose, I'm just using the database which is already available in the JDBC by default. So this is Aquila, Sys and Vald. These three databases will be available by default. Okay, I'm just using one of these. Okay, so this is fine. Next, what I'm going to do, basically I'm going to create the connection. I want that object. Okay, give me the object. I'm just calling that, give me the object. Maybe I will keep in different name. Give me object. Maybe this will be very useful, right? This will be very understandable, right? Okay, and release the object. Okay, I didn't thought about it. Yeah. Okay, so object pool also we need to, instead of give me object, and let's go with the release object. Okay, so this is meaningful naming, right? So give me object is this guy is telling give me the object for JDBC connection pool. So JDBC connection pool is nothing but our own class. All right, for the JDBC specifically we created. Okay, so give me the object. So what basically this will do, this pool, it will call the give me object. Okay, so here it will check that first whenever we are calling, so this will be less than 0 or equal to 0, right? So it will go directly here and it will create the object and it will put into in use, right? Then if I release the object, so now it will be there in the, what is that? It will be there in the what is that, it will go, it will move from use to not in use. It will release the object basically, right? So let's try to run this and see that what is the output. You can see that the class is loading. It is printing only one time of this creating the object, right? Got it? So it is giving, it is running, and it is giving you the only one time of creating object. Okay, that is fine. Okay, what I'll do basically, okay, so this is fine, right? Now you want again another object. Okay, maybe you want again another same object, right? What basically it will do, it will go and check, and again it will create a new object for you, right? Because that whatever you created, that object is already in use. Okay, because already you are not released that object, right? So it is until you will release the object that is in use. So what basically, until it is in use, create a new object and give me that. Okay, so see, 2 times it was calling. Okay, now I am just telling that after release the object, right? Maybe another purpose, after release the object I am calling this. So now you can see the magic, right? It is not creating the 2 times. It is not creating the, it is not printing 2 times creating object, right? It is not created 2 times object. So basically our object pool is taking care of this. Object pool was not in, it was having already the object, so it was written that object to me, right? So it will return that object to me. So it is not went and it is not created the object, right? So basically one more stuff, when we are expiring the object after 50 seconds, right? So what basically I will do, I will keep this thread, let me ask this code to sleep 60 seconds. Okay, maybe not 60 seconds, for testing purpose we'll give it very less. So this is like a 30 seconds, and let me ask this guy to wait, okay, 20 seconds, and let me ask this guy to wait for it 30 seconds. Then it will ask to give the object. Then what basically it should give, it should create the object. Obviously that existing one will get removed, right? So after 20 seconds, so after 30 seconds, when I'm trying to access it second time, right, it should create the new object and it should give to me. That is what my expectation. Let's see, now project is running, it is still in running status. Let's see that, so how it is going to do it out for us. Let's see, still 30 seconds is not over. Okay, sleeping for 30 seconds. Okay, countdown, maybe already 20 seconds. Yeah, okay, so now 30 seconds was done. After that, see, the connection was dead when it is trying to access that time, right, second time. So it know that connection was thread, so dead, it was in dead state, right? So it was called dead, then it was null, so it will create a new object and it will give to you, right? As here you can see that as it is dead, okay, it will call the dead, okay, bus time was expired and it will dead, then it will make the object as null. Then after that automatically is not returning anything, right? So automatically when it is coming to here, right, it will create the new object and it will share to you. So here we are just checking that if the time is expired, remove the object from not in use, okay, and dead the object, it means remove the object, then make that hash table as empty, okay, so not hash table, that object as empty, null object as null, then create a new object, push the object into hash table, in use hash table, and return the object. So it means that object is now in use. Okay, hope you understood the logic, right? So this is the basic class which is taking care of, it is using as a pool, object pool, okay, and this is our own class. Maybe if you want to go for a REST connection, you can create it. If you want to go for any specific logic, maybe you can create it. Okay, so like that type of logic creation you can do it out, okay, but this should be abstract class so that you can handle here the creation and dead timing and validation, all the stuffs you can handle here, okay. So make sure you have to use those are abstract methods, okay. Then from your main classes you can directly access that and you can play with that, okay. Hope you understood, right? Thanks for watching. Bye bye.